Hey everybody, this is Christy, founder of the organization called Stalker Inc. 2019. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. A lot of you are kind of wondering what I'm doing and why, and there's several reasons why I'm doing this and what I'm going to do, and hopefully the end result. Um, I am using my own money to start this foundation because I think it's very needed. I think it's very necessary, especially coming from what I've come through, which is domestic violence. And second of all, I want to change a lot of these laws that we have on the books because it's allowing these people to get away with this, and they don't even get a slap on the wrist, maybe a little bit of a fine and everything. So it continues to let them, behave like this, and allow. And the third reason is to allow women, men, kids to not only be able to escape, be able to have a little bit of financial help to get them to being independent, because a lot of them are beat down, mentally, physically, emotionally, and to see that they can live on their own without that abuser, because a lot of women have to return home because they have no money to live. Most of them have never worked, stuff like that, and they just have no self-esteem, anything like that, and so it's hard for them to even get out on their own because they have no money source. And I found in my situation when my ex not only was abusing me mentally and physically, but he knew to take my money would be the one way to get me, because he knew if I didn't have any money, I couldn't go anywhere. So where am I going to go? So, the police show up and they're asking me, can you go anywhere? And I'm thinking, oh my God, in my head, I don't have any gas. I got all this stuff coming up this week, and how am I going to, try to keep my routine the same for my son? He's got football coming up, and, they're asking me for the money, for the uniforms and this, that, and other. There's no resources for that immediate thing to at least try to keep your life as normal as possible, especially for the kids. They've been through enough. You at least want to try to, maintain some type of normalcy for them. And if they see you fighting, to be on your own and get them out of that, you get the ultimate, I think, forgiveness from them. And a lot of people always ask me right now, because now that they've known some of what's happened to me, not all of it, of course, it's just too much to talk about right now. Still a lot of pain there, but I'm working through it. And but my most important thing was to move forward and stop focusing on him. When he's coming, what he's going to do, walking around on eggshells, what kind of mood is he going to be in? Is he going to be drunk? Seeing where my son was, if he's trying to be mean to him and all that. And when I took the focus off of what he was doing or what he was going to do next and get on my own 2 feet and get away from it and figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to move forward and not only change mine and my son's lives, but lives for other people. And that's what I plan on doing. And, these laws, you guys, are ridiculous. And the police officers, they only can do so much. And I know a lot of you are frustrated just like I was, when they show up and, there's nothing they can do, especially after it happened. I'm still being stalked. He calls me constantly. He blocks my car in, he makes me late to work all the time. He calls me at work all the time. And when I did call one of the numbers on there for the domestic violence, she basically kind of insulted me. Oh, well, is he threatening your life? Like, just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And my oldest son is in the Army, and not only him, but a lot of the military, have been fighting for ever, for our freedoms and to be able to live free and say the things that we want to say and do the things that we want to do. And I have a real problem because here my son is fighting for all of our freedoms, and we have no freedom in our own home. We have to live in fear, and I have a problem with that. So I'm constantly having to look out the window. I can't sleep, wondering if he's crawled through a window, circling my house constantly, calling constantly. And if a lot of these judges, politicians and everybody, if I was calling them constantly, standing out by their car, standing by their door, even though I'm not threatening them, they would be real nervous and on edge and constantly be looking over their shoulders. Like, where are they at? What are they doing? Is this person going to hurt me? So why is it, that we have these freedoms, but nobody can provide us with something to where we should be able to have peace in our own home. I just don't understand that. And every time he gets to acting up, the poor police officers are like, is there somewhere you can go? Because they know there's nothing they can do. And I think we need to change that, and for these judges to basically make it look like it's our fault that these people are acting this way instead of holding them accountable, I think is absolutely ridiculous. And I think it needs to be changed. I think a lot of these laws are outdated. And for this to have been his third offense, just the ones on the book, because you just get tired of calling because nobody's going to help you. And so what do? So with me, I started fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to leave my house. And I know a lot of you can't do that because the threat violence is so high. But that's the thing. When they get out of jail, why can't they be fitted with an ankle monitor so they can keep up and see where they're at? What does all our money pay for? My taxes and stuff. You do, your city and local governments are the ones that have control over that. How you basically live every day, your taxes, your schools, your police, your fire departments. And so, we need to at least start there. And I really want you guys to support and I'm trying to raise money and I'm starting it right now. So a lot of it I'm doing on my own, but here coming up in a couple weeks, I am going to be doing, events, different events and stuff like that. And I'll be having t-shirts and all that stuff to sell. And if you want to donate, if you want to buy a gift card, for me to give somebody, so they can take that first step and take, just be like, oh my God, I don't have to worry, I'm away and, let me get my thoughts together. What's my next step? I need a plan. I need to get away. But I think once you get that plan and get on your own, I think we should be able to have some backup out here. He shouldn't be coming to my house. He shouldn't be calling me all the time. Just because he's not threatening me, because he knows not to. I should be able to have peace. I shouldn't have to go take off and run to my mom's house or take off to Georgia. It's his behavior. And, and people will say, somebody, how do you put up with it? I don't put up with it, but I have done everything I can. I've taken him to court. I've done this, I've done that, and not only does it create that, but then it creates poverty for a lot of us women who do have to get on our own, because not only that does he have taken all the money, but then we can't get child support enforced. That's an absolute joke, by the way. And for that judge to sit there and tell me, after all I've been through and my son has been through with the violence and the emotional abuse, that I have to encourage their relationship. I'm still stunned that man had the audacity to sit there and say that to me after looking at all that he'd done, that I need to encourage their relationship. Okay, really? Okay. So you want us to go, we escaped a violent situation, stole all my money, and you want me to just turn around and voluntarily hand him to him so he can furthermore inflict torture on us? I mean, how ridiculous is that? And I can't believe that he even had the nerve to have that come out of his mouth. And he's an elected official. And I think as you guys as elected officials, if you ain't doing your job, you should be fired. For real. Because if I'm not doing my job, I get fired. And you guys are getting paid with our money, our tax money. And you can't even do the basic thing and protect me and my son? I mean, seriously? In my own home? And then you want to tell me to encourage their relationship? No, that's not going to happen, dear. And you guys always want to throw up on my face about, prove it that he's circling your house. Prove it. Well, you just prove that he don't see him. You prove that he doesn't talk to him. Because I guarantee you, he calls my phone every day, all day and night. And not one time does he ask to speak to him. Does he ask to see him? He doesn't care. He only cares about what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I'm wearing, who I'm seeing, and it's not ever going to end. And it's definitely not ever going to end for anybody if we don't stop it. And I don't know, and it doesn't just affect me. It's like, 6 to 9 people out of 10? And then you got to think, plus it affects their families and friends. So everybody I'm talking to right now, you're going to know somebody or have known somebody. It's just your sisters, your moms, your grandmas, your nieces, your nephews. I mean, I just don't understand it. And for us not to be able to live in peace, I don't understand that, when we should have that basic right to be able to live in peace in our own home and not have to be tortured like that every day. And I promise you, if these people out here, the lawyers and everybody, you guys got security teams, politicians. We don't. Okay, and I'm paying for your security team. But I promise you, if I was standing by your car every day, no, I'm not threatening you, or I'm calling you, just saying stupid stuff all the day, all the night, at your job, calling your job, you would be looking over your shoulder too. Okay, and wondering, why the hell am I doing this? Why would I do that? Okay, that's what I'm wondering. How is it he's allowed to do that to me? And nobody can do anything. I just don't understand that. And you got to feel for these cops, because I'm sure they get sick and tired of hearing it. Showing up to the same house all the time and knowing they can't do anything for these people or myself. And, look how much money has wasted, and time and loss of work. How many times I've had to call into work because of something he's done. Been late to work. My son being late to school. Missing school because we have to leave. And he just keeps right on living like nothing happened. Well, of course he's going to, because nothing has happened to him. And it's and then plus the medical stuff for when we have to go to the hospital. I mean, stress, anxiety, depression, all that. And then these kids grow up in it, and they're going to be the same way, So at least if I can't make a change for my generation, I want you guys to help me make a change for our kids, their kids, and everybody else. Because I think everybody has a right to live in peace. And these people need to be held accountable and stop. It's not even as bad as a speeding ticket. I mean, are you kidding me? If I go out here and assault somebody I don't know, it's called assault. I go to jail for that. And I don't get a free pass. So how is it when he hits me, or, they hit whatever, that it's not considered assault? Because I know him? He put his hands on me. Okay? That's against the law. And the one officer that asked me when he choked me, well, did he put his hands around your neck to like move you? Or did he put his hands around your throat, to take the air out of you, like to kill you? And I'm looking like, are you kidding me? Who asked that? And does it matter? He put his hands around my throat. He put his hands around my throat so hard he left fingerprints. It wasn't a hug, but he was basically preparing me for when I go to court, because that's what they're going to do. Diminish what he's done. And no, he needs to be held accountable. And anybody that does do that needs to be held accountable. And they shouldn't be able to be circling my house, that's for sure. And calling me constantly. I mean, are you kidding me? So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to talk for 20-something minutes, and because I'll just keep going because I'm so upset. And you guys need to realize what's going on out here, and how everybody, it could be anybody It could be your coworker sitting right there, but they're not going to say nothing to you because it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing, and you're constantly thinking of how you could get away without being, stalked and everything. And it's just like me, but I'm a fighter, and I'm going to keep fighting, and I hope to make a lot of change, not only for me and my kids, but for you guys as well. And I look forward to seeing y'all, meeting y'all, and getting this moving. Okay, thank you so much for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I love all you guys, and be safe, and take it easy. All right, be talking to you later.